Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Jeff Softley, President of Direct to Consumer at Experian Consumer Services, to discuss a tool that empowers consumers to add non-traditional credit information such as utility and telecom payment history to their Experian credit file. Jeff, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you for having me, Jill.
Tell us more about Experian Boost and why you launched the product.
Well, sure. About a year ago, we launched the product. It's actually a first of its kind capability that allows consumers to add payment history that they're not currently getting credit for to their credit file. And we saw this as an opportunity to give consumers more control and to enable them to get credit for certain types of payments that they may believe they're getting credit for, but aren't actually, such as utility payments, mobile phone payments, and with our recent release, including Netflix payments.
Yeah, I mean, that makes complete sense. If you don't pay your utility bills, you simply don't have the service, so it should be as important as your traditional credit reporting. What technology does Experian use in its Boost products?
Well, it's actually a combination of several different technologies. We use an aggregation capability that allows us to look into a consumer's payment behavior and scan for eligible payment types. Within the use case of Experian Boost, we're actually looking for repetition in payment to certain categories, such as your cell phone bill, or in the Netflix release, regular payment for Netflix. And because so much of your credit score is about positive payment history, we really saw this as a win-win for consumers to get credit for a new type of payment. We know more consumers are cutting cords and moving into streaming. And we saw this as an opportunity to use that technology for good for consumers so they can start to improve their credit scores.
Why did you decide to allow consumers to add positive Netflix payment history to their Experian reports?
Well, if you're like me, Jill, you're spending a lot of time consuming media these days. And again, we know that not only is media consumption up significantly, more than 60% in COVID, but we also know that there's just been a substantial move away from cable subscriptions into streaming subscriptions. And again, there's no reason that those payment types, which again are central in your credit history, shouldn't be allowed to be enabled and used to help consumers, which we know are under significant and substantial stress right now during COVID and during the financial challenges.
Jeff, why is financial help so important to Experian?
Well, we think that we have a unique role for our organization to play right now in particular. We know that consumers are under substantial financial stress, and we want them to be able to get credit for their financial profile. And if you think about it, there's a cost to bad credit. Recent studies have shown that having bad credit can cost you about $200,000 more over your financial life than somebody who has good credit. And so we feel like we've got a unique position, unique role to help consumers get better credit, have better credit scores, and save money, which is really important right now. And we're the only credit bureau that's allowed consumers to actually take credit for this type of payment history.
What are Experian's CreditWorks basic and premium products, and how are they helping consumers? I'm a consumer of CreditWorks, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Sure. Well, we think it's really important right now for consumers to be engaged in their credit. It's important to stay on top of your finances proactively. And so we continue to expand our product ecosystem to give consumers more capabilities and more tools to enable them to do that. So in addition to getting access to things like your free FICO score through our platform, or improving your FICO score with capabilities like Experian Boost, we also allow consumers to take advantage of a marketplace of offers that allow them to get savings products and capabilities that will allow them to save money. And we've also launched some new features that we think are particularly helpful right now for consumers. As you know, most of the credit cards in your wallet provide perks and rewards right now. And since many of us aren't actually traveling, we've got a really handy tool within our product that allows you to see what your travel card might provide as an additional perk right now. Many are in fact giving you credit for streaming services rather than giving you the capability of getting points for travel, since so many of us aren't really traveling right now. So we've got a whole host of capabilities and products and tools which we've opened up for consumers. We've also allowed them to really look at their transactions and see how they're spending money, because we think that that's an important step in enabling consumers to manage their debt and also get out of debt.
All right, Jeff, thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Jill.
And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.